Hello. So, I am not an expert on the collector's toy market at all. Okay. So, the ones that I'm collecting are the ones that I remember from my childhood. And they include many from this range, which is the Corgi Juniors sort of range. This particular catalogue is from 1982. And that has particular significance because Corgi, who were owned by, well, so they were owned by, they were sort of this name associated with a company called Matoy Limited, as I understand it. Matoy Playcraft Limited, in fact, it says on the back of this catalogue, and Matoy Co Limited, went under in around 1982. So this catalogue is probably the last one that was ever created by the company. And as I was looking through it, I was sort of recognising a few of the toys, in particular these ones here. So I had the little Superman mobile here, I had the Batmobile there, and I have just recently again got the Spider-Copter. So you might have seen that on a video I've done recently. Their stuff also included the Moonraker, which I've also just done a video on in its various variants. That was the Corgi Junior version. And the reason that I'm on screen, which is unusual for me, there's the Starfighter as well. Look, which I've also got this little guy here, but Corgi Starfighter. So yeah, the reason I'm on screen unusually for me is the back page, or the second to last page of this particular catalogue. Because as I was flicking through, I was thinking, yeah, seen some of these, seen some of those. One of these I think was a card that my mum bribed me with for my first haircut, strangely. Various of the Batman ones, and that's quite nice. And there are quite a few on this page that I've got. So the Superman one, the James Bond ones, and the Starfighter, and the Batmobile one as well. I don't have it, and I haven't reacquired it, but it's been reproduced many times by other companies over the years. So I kept on flicking through, and I got to this last page, and the last page puzzled me. And if you are at all familiar with the Corgi toys of this time, you might know why. Sorry, let me get this lined up for you. Now, can you see there that there's a DeLorean? This was before Back to the Future, but ironically, I can find no trace of that ever having come out, nor can I find any trace of that Enterprise and that Klingon battlecruiser. Now, Corgi did release a Klingon battlecruiser. It does not look like that. It's blue, and it has a black and yellow decal on it. It is not that one. So I'm wondering whether on this page, the new for 82 ones that are pictured here never actually came out because the company went under. I think that is a distinct possibility. Now, as I said at the outset, I do not know enough about the trade and everything else, and I might well go to a local gentleman who knows a lot more than I do and just say to him, have you ever actually seen these in the flesh? I mean, it's fascinating because even those are all sort of the ways in which a store might have bought them en masse and displayed them. So that in and of itself is really, really interesting to me personally. But that final page suggests that had they kept going just that little bit longer, we might have seen some different Star Trek toys coming out from Corgi, who already did really, really well as compared to someone like Dinky. Because Dinky did do some tie-ins, they did some Jerry Anderson tie-ins, and they did do a Star Trek tie-in as well. But Corgi had James Bond, Buck Rogers, Batman, Scooby-Doo, all these sorts of things, very early doors that we would obviously recognise as being classic sort of film merchandise TV series tie-ins. But they were quite ahead of the game. And the interesting thing about Corgi is because they were more of a sort of a brand name, that brand has survived even now. I've got a Corgi Klingon bird of prey sat over there on my windowsill, you know, and it's like, I never knew they did that. But this was actually an indication that they were thinking about doing more Star Trek toys than that they actually managed to get out in their lifetimes. And it's a shame really, because obviously my generation coming through, you know, we were just entering into the action figure sort of era with, you know, Star Wars and He-Man and Transformers in the early 80s. But for those of us of a certain age, we just caught the tail end of the diecast era of toys. And that's why, obviously, you know, a lot of these ones that you're seeing on videos from me are reminiscent of that era, because you can still pick them up loose really, really reasonably. I mean, getting them sort of mint in boxes is another thing altogether, inevitably. But I'm quite enjoying just getting them for having the memories back, really, I suppose, or a reminder of the memories back, if you see what I mean. So yeah, so I just wanted to put that page out there really, and just see if anyone that has any more backstory to it than I do, and I will I'll mention it on Twitter as well and just see what happens. So yeah, thanks very much. Cheers for now.